The strongest presence is the one that doesn't demand attention. Sigma females glide through life without seeking the spotlight, yet they naturally draw it. They don't chase power, yet they possess it. They don't intend to unsettle others, yet often do. This isn't because they aim to be enigmatic, it's just their unique approach. They watch rather than respond impulsively, seek to understand rather than jump to conclusions, and keep their distance rather than cling. What's even more striking? They usually don't even realize they're doing it. While many speak up to make their mark, Sigma females do so quietly. A mere glance from them can lead someone to question their own actions. A strategic pause in their speech might reveal others' doubts. Their knack for anticipating what comes next gives the impression they are always ahead of the game. But remember, this isn't a weakness. This isn't something to hide. This is the essence of being a Sigma female. You don't adhere to the expected norms, which leaves others puzzled about how to perceive you. They might admire you, feel intimidated by you, respect you, or be unsure how to interact with you. Let them be puzzled. Let them feel unsure. Your mere presence changes the atmosphere in any room, a feat that no amount of words or overt charm can achieve. Number 1. They're full of surprises. Most people you can read easily. They might be friendly or aloof, gentle or tough, attentive or distant, but a Sigma female. She's all these things at once, easily switching between them, making it hard for others to know how she really feels about them. 1 minute, she's completely into a conversation, making you feel like you're the most important person to her. The next, she seems distant, lost in her own thoughts. She can be caring, sharing wise advice and support. But if you cross her, she won't hesitate to be harsh and cut ties with negativity swiftly. She shares just enough to keep people curious, but never enough to let them truly know her. And that's what throws people off. We like to label others, to fit them into simple categories, but the Sigma female doesn't fit any standard category. She's not just a distant, cold person, nor is she always warm and nurturing. She can be welcoming yet keep an emotional distance that seems unreachable. She pays close attention, yet it's hard to understand her. She's there, but not completely. This mix of traits keeps people unsure. Some are drawn to figure her out, only to find she changes just when they think they understand her. Others find it annoying. How can she be both friendly and reserved? How can she make you feel understood, yet remain a mystery? But really, she isn't trying to confuse anyone. She just refuses to be simple. She lives in balance, being kind but setting limits, being there without getting too involved, and being warm while staying fiercely independent. Number 2. They see relationship troubles before they happen. Most people don't see a relationship deteriorating until it's too late. They overlook the early warnings, are shocked by betrayals, and struggle to figure out what went wrong. But a Sigma female, she notices the signs way before anyone else. She doesn't need big arguments or clear betrayals to sense trouble. She picks up on little changes, the uncertainty in someone's voice, how their messages get shorter, or how they hesitate to respond to calls. She notices if they avoid eye contact, if their words seem rehearsed, or if they start to drift away. Most people ignore these small details, but a Sigma female sees the whole picture right away. She doesn't just hear what people say, she listens to the silences, the breaks, and the things they don't say. And because she's good at spotting patterns, she often knows a relationship is doomed long before the other person even thinks there's a problem. But here's what sets her apart. She doesn't panic. She doesn't ask for constant reassurance or hold on to false hope. Instead, she mentally prepares herself. While the other person is still pretending everything is fine, she's already pulling back, processing, and deciding whether it's worth trying to fix things or if it's better to move on. This ability might unsettle others. They can't understand how she can leave without falling apart. They don't see the months, sometimes years, of careful observation that led to her decision. By the time she moves on, she has already mourned, accepted the end, and found peace with her decision. And that's what makes her so strong. She's never caught off guard. She never holds on to something that's fading away. When she leaves, she does it with a clear mind, certain, and without regrets. Because for her, the real loss isn't the person. It's staying too long in a doomed relationship. Number 3. They don't tell everyone what they're doing, but they're always a few steps ahead. Most people like to talk. They share their plans, look for approval, or try to show they're in charge. But a Sigma female? She acts quietly. She doesn't make a fuss, doesn't ask for permission, and doesn't waste time explaining herself. Yet when everything is said and done, she's exactly where she planned to be, while others are still wondering how she managed it. This isn't about luck. It's a tactic. A Sigma female is always watching, thinking ahead, and adjusting. While others are just dealing with life as it comes, she has already figured out the patterns and predicted the next moves. She observes the power plays in a room, the changing friendships, and the quiet tensions that others overlook. She doesn't just hear what people say, she also notices what they don't say. Because of this, she hardly ever gets caught off guard. People only realize too late that she understood the outcome before they even grasped the start. When someone tries to trick her, she's already steps ahead, waiting for them to show their true intentions. When she leaves a situation, people think it's sudden, but she had been planning her departure way before they noticed any change. She doesn't give warnings, doesn't boast, doesn't seek approval. She just moves silently, purposefully, and with striking accuracy. This can be confusing for those who underestimate her. They think she's unassertive because she doesn't flaunt her smarts. They think she's easy to predict because she doesn't show her emotions. But by the time they realize their error, she has already outsmarted them. And the best part? She doesn't need to explain how she did it. The outcomes speak for themselves. Number 4. They can turn off their emotions just like that. Most people are ruled by their emotions. They react without thinking, get involved in conflicts they didn't want, and let others manipulate them by pressing the right emotional buttons. But a Sigma female, she's different. She doesn't just experience emotions, she manages them. And when needed, she can switch them off as easily as turning off a light. This isn't about being unfeeling. It's about protecting herself. The world is full of people who manipulate others using guilt, anger, and pity to get what they want. Most people fall for it. They argue, defend themselves, and let their emotions get out of control. But a Sigma female, she sees the game right away. Instead of engaging, she disconnects. No response, no emotional explosion, just quiet and a steady look that leaves the manipulator feeling ineffective. To those on the outside, this may seem harsh, even cruel. They wonder why she doesn't cry when expected, why she doesn't chase after those who hurt her, why she walks away without a second glance. But what they don't realize is that she does feel deeply. She just refuses to be dominated by those feelings. She understands that emotions can be a tool for manipulation in the wrong hands, and she won't let anyone use hers against her. This ability unsettles people. They expect guilt to affect her, but it doesn't. They expect anger to shake her, but it doesn't. They expect her to beg, to plead, to fall apart. But instead, she stays calm, unaffected, impossible to read. And that's frightening to those who use emotional reactions to control others. But here's the reality. This isn't a weakness, it's strength. It's the power to remain in control when others are losing themselves. It's the power to leave toxic situations without a second thought. It's the power to pick reason over emotional traps. Because in the end, a Sigma female isn't without emotions. She's simply invincible. Number 5. They don't make people feel important without realizing it. People often expect relationships, whether with friends, partners, or even co-workers, to be about mutual emotional support. They want to feel essential and missed, believing they cannot be replaced in others' lives. However, this expectation crumbles when they meet a Sigma female. She does not depend on others to feel valuable. She doesn't cling to relationships out of fear of loneliness. She gracefully accepts that people enter and leave life, and no one should control her emotional peace. This realization can unsettle others. They discover, sometimes too late, that a Sigma female does not depend on them. She might enjoy their company, but she doesn't need them. This realization that they are appreciated but not essential can shake them. A Sigma female's independence makes others doubt their role in her life. They might wonder, would she even notice if I disappeared? She might notice, but she wouldn't be devastated. She wouldn't plead for explanations or be lost in regrets. She would simply adapt, recalibrate, and continue, because that's her nature. This doesn't mean she lacks compassion. She cherishes meaningful relationships, but avoids letting her attachments control her. Those who hope to be the focus of her life end up feeling insignificant, replaceable, and disturbed. But the hard truth is, their feelings of insignificance stem from their own insecurities, not her attitude. A Sigma female's true strength lies in demonstrating quietly that she is self-sufficient. Number 6. They bring out guilt in others without blaming them. Many people expect apologies, address wrongdoings, or try to induce guilt in those who have hurt them. A Sigma female does none of these. She doesn't chase apologies or demand responsibility. Yet those who have wronged her often feel compelled to confess without her prompting. It isn't magic. It's the impact of her quiet demeanor. Her composed withdrawal after being wronged makes others uncomfortable. She doesn't react aggressively, seek revenge, or try to make a scene. Instead, she steps back, serene and undisturbed, and that makes the guilty uneasy. People usually anticipate anger or dramatic confrontations. However, when a Sigma female simply distances herself silently, it leaves a gap that the guilty find overwhelming. They start to rethink their lies, selfish actions and betrayals, wondering how much she understood, how much she knew. And the truth? She knew everything from the start. The overpowering silence and the lack of drama emphasize the seriousness of their actions. This is when they begin to confess. Suddenly, they send messages trying to clear the air, or admitting, "Oh, I don't know if you knew," but they rush to explain, to soothe their own guilt, hoping for a response. But she has already moved on. She never needed their apologies or closure because her strength was never about confronting them. It was in the calm realization that she had seen through them all along. That's a burden no guilty person can easily shake off. Number 7. They challenge the power of those in charge without even trying. Most people are either scared of those with power or look up to them. They want their approval, do as they're told, or at least show some respect for the chain of command. But a Sigma female doesn't do any of that. She isn't rebellious just to make a statement, nor is she trying to prove anything. She simply isn't scared off, and this calm resistance makes those who rely on their authority feel off balance. People in charge, like bosses, teachers, and leaders, expect others to either submit quietly or oppose them loudly, making themselves easy to handle. But the Sigma female is different. She's unaffected, not easily impressed, and hard to read. She doesn't ignore rules to show she can, but she won't just blindly follow them either. If a rule is logical, she'll abide by it. If not, she won't. She doesn't argue or justify her actions, which makes those in power uncomfortable. They notice how she holds herself. She doesn't seek approval, doesn't ask for permission, and doesn't get flustered under pressure. She listens, but not with the eager attentiveness of someone trying hard to impress. She stays cool, watching and thinking, almost as if she's the one analyzing them. This realization unnerves them deeply, because true power is really just a belief. It works when people believe in it and react to it. But the Sigma female doesn't respond. She isn't dazzled by titles or impressed by someone's position. She values skill, not hierarchy. And when a powerful person sees that they don't influence her, that she's not afraid, impressed, or submissive, it makes them doubt themselves. They might not understand why, but they feel it. This unsettling realization that they don't hold sway over her, that their supposed control is irrelevant in her eyes. And at that moment, they start to wonder who truly has the power. Number 8. They handle chaos effortlessly. Most people fall apart in chaotic situations. They get nervous, panic, or look to others for support. But a Sigma female, she thrives in it. She stays strikingly calm when everything else is in disarray, and this alone can shake those who expect others to validate their panic. In stressful situations, it's usually clear how people should react. They are expected to feel scared, angry, or upset. They expect others to reflect their anxiety, to react strongly, to be part of the chaos. But the Sigma female doesn't play that game. While others lose their cool, she observes. While they react, she thinks. It's not that she's immune to stress, she just handles it differently. Rather than being overwhelmed by chaos, she examines it, adapts, and turns it to her benefit. This is what makes her so disconcerting to be around. When someone else is yelling, breaking down, or losing control, they expect a certain reaction, compassion, anger, or shared worry. But when they look at her, they see nothing but a calm, unreadable face. She doesn't flinch, doesn't get caught up in the emotional turmoil, and this discomforts people. Because panic is contagious. It spreads when people react to it together, but when one person opts out, it disrupts the pattern. Her calmness seems strange, almost as if she knows something others don't. It makes people question their own responses. Why isn't she panicking? Is it really as bad as I think? This doubt changes everything. But here's where her true strength lies. Because she isn't consumed by chaos, she's always the one who finds a way out. While others are blinded by their emotions, she sees the solutions. And by the time they realize what's happening, she's already ahead, leaving them puzzled at how she managed to remain so composed while they were caught up in the storm. Number 9. Betrayal feels like being cut off forever. Many people respond to betrayal with anger or by seeking revenge. They might demand answers, blame others, or hold on to their hurt, keeping the person who betrayed them in their thoughts, whether through conflict or sadness. But a Sigma female, she doesn't bother with that. Instead, she does something much colder. She completely removes you from her life. One day you are part of her world, the next day you are not. There's no big farewell, no final argument. just total silence, an absolute shutdown of emotion, and that hurts more deeply than any words. With her, betrayal doesn't get a second chance. She doesn't entertain apologies or dwell on what happened. As soon as trust is broken, she acts as if you never existed. What's really scary is that she truly means it. She doesn't just pretend to be unaffected, she genuinely doesn't care anymore. The bond you once shared disappears. The kindness in her gaze when she looked at you, gone. For the one who betrayed her, it's a deep shock. They expect anger or some reaction that shows they still matter. But when they receive nothing but her steadfast, quiet dismissal, it really hits them. They've lost her, not just for now, but forever. That's why betrayal feels like a death sentence with a Sigma female. It's not merely rejection, it's complete erasure. She doesn't seek revenge or need to prove anything. She just moves on, leaving the betrayer to face a harsh truth they didn't anticipate. They were disposable. Number 10. They understand people like detectives at a crime scene. While most people focus on the words being spoken, Sigma females focus on what isn't said. Every look, every pause, every change in tone is noticed. They don't just watch. They dissect everything with the accuracy of a detective at a crime scene. A forced smile? They spot the unnatural tightness around the eyes. A speech given with confidence? They hear the slight quiver in the voice. A flimsy excuse. They notice the hesitation before the words are even spoken. Most people think they can mask their true feelings with well-rehearsed expressions and carefully selected words, but a Sigma female sees right through such acts. It's not magic, it's her ability to recognize patterns. Over time, she's become skilled at spotting inconsistencies in how people act, small cracks in their facade. She can tell when someone's gestures don't match their words, when a story feels scripted instead of genuine, when fake enthusiasm hides real tension. Once she picks up on these signs, she quietly notes them, waiting for the moment everything makes sense. This ability makes her unsettling to those who deceive. They feel she knows the truth, even if she never says it outright. She doesn't have to. Just the fact that she can see through them is often enough to make dishonest people uneasy around her. Yet this skill also makes her a trusted friend to the truthful. She can tell when someone is sincere, when their words are meaningful, and when their actions show their true character. For those who are honest, being understood so deeply by her is both rare and comforting. A Sigma female doesn't just hear, she interprets. And before most people realize they've been completely understood, she has already moved on to the next chapter. Number 11. They walk through storms with grace and wisdom. Most people buckle under the weight of life's storms. They get swept up in the chaos, react impulsively, and let the stress dictate their actions. But a Sigma female, she navigates through turmoil with an almost supernatural calmness and wisdom. Her calmness during tough times isn't just admirable, it feels almost otherworldly. She doesn't rush to fix things or panic under pressure. Instead, she assesses the situation with a clear mind, making decisions that are not only wise, but also timed perfectly. This kind of serene resilience is baffling to those who struggle to keep their heads above water. They watch her move through difficulties with ease, wondering how she manages to remain so unaffected. The secret lies in her ability to separate her emotions from her actions. She feels deeply, yes, but she doesn't let those feelings cloud her judgment. She uses wisdom as her compass, guiding her through choices that others might avoid out of fear or confusion. This graceful navigation through life's challenges makes others re-evaluate their approach to hardships, often leaving them inspired. and a little in awe of her unshakable spirit. Number 12. They inspire change without preaching. Where many strive to be loud and commanding to foster change, Sigma females do so quietly and effectively. They don't stand on soapboxes yelling out calls to action. Instead, they embody the change they wish to see. This silent living example of their convictions influences those around them more powerfully than any speech could. People notice her actions, the subtle yet consistent choices that align with her values and principles. Her lifestyle itself becomes a testament to her beliefs, whether it's through sustainable living, kindness to others, or relentless self-improvement. This method of inspiring change can be disconcerting to those who are used to more direct forms of influence. They see her making a difference simply by being herself, and it challenges them to reflect on their own lives. How powerful can one's quiet presence be? Quite a lot, it turns out. A Sigma female proves that leading by example isn't just an old adage, but a potent reality. Her approach encourages others to introspect, and perhaps without even realizing it, start to make changes in their own behaviors and beliefs. This ripple effect of inspiration, sparked not by words but by action, is a subtle yet profound power she wields effortlessly. Your strength doesn't come from how others see you. It comes from your ability to stay steady no matter what. Sigma females aren't trying to disrupt things on purpose. They don't enter a space with the thought, "Today, I'm going to stir things up." Yet, their mere presence tends to do just that. Their ability to observe without being noticed, act without justifying themselves, and grasp things unexplained. It's enough to make even the most self-assured individuals doubt themselves. However, it's important to understand, this isn't a flaw. It's not something that needs to be subdued or corrected. This is what makes you stand out. People are often afraid of what they can't manage, and a Sigma female represents the epitome of being unmanageable. You're not easily swayed by others, not tossed about by emotions, and definitely not here to meet superficial expectations. This unsettles people, yet it also brings you a type of respect that many will never reach. So, embrace it. Embrace the fact that you don't look for approval, but still capture everyone's attention. Embrace that you act quietly, yet consistently stay ahead. Embrace that some may feel vulnerable around you, not because you aim to scare, but because you mirror back to them the things they attempt to conceal. Ultimately, your power doesn't lie in making others uncomfortable. It lies in being so authentically yourself that the world has to adapt. Continue to be that influence. Keep moving with quiet confidence, and never say sorry for being the type of woman who doesn't just exist. She makes a lasting mark.